2 o'clock in the afternoon, local time, on the 29th of January, 2024. We're about, let's see, southeast of East London, heading down the coast. We've been out for 4 days, and somehow, like 4.5 days. And one thing's for sure, that one thing we haven't had a lack of is wind. At the very beginning it was pretty light going, but that didn't last long. Since then we've had 20 knots or more. Like right now, blowing about 35. We just got the storm gem up and back. Still making 4.5 knots. Not sure if we're in the current yet or not. I don't think we're close enough to be in the Agulhas current. We did drive quite a bit due south and got pretty far east of the coastline. Not by design, but because of the winds. Right now, seas are definitely running 3.5 meters, 10 or 12 feet. You can always tell the true wind by the sea state. We got white horses everywhere, which means 25 knots. But when the wind starts howling through the rigging, which it's doing right now, that's 35 knots of true wind. So of course we're kind of sailing downwind. It seems to be less. But the motion is a little wild and crazy. The seas are still somewhat confused. I'm not sure what's causing that. But it's been pretty much a wild ride. There are ships all over the place out here. I was trying to figure out why. Then I realized all that trouble in the Middle East has probably got shipping rerouting away from the Suez Canal. Because there's a lot of big bulk carriers and container ships coming by. I've seen on the AIS as many as 15 in our vicinity. So figure the range reception on the AIS is about 20 miles. That's a lot of shipping in this area. Fortunately, these guys know what they're about and almost always give us a pretty big margin. Well, at least 2 miles, often 3 or 4 miles, or stay away from us. Because, you know, small boat, big waves, big wind, we're wandering around a bit. So tomorrow morning will be 5 days. We should be down to about the latitude of Port Elizabeth, which is the halfway point. Anyway, the weather has been pretty fantastic. Fairly clear skies most of the time. It's a little cool, especially at night. And no lack of wind. Fortunately, haven't been able to harness it pretty well to get the boat speed up. We've been having a devil of a time trying to keep the boat from generating too much weather help. And either heading up and going south or bearing off and going west-northwest. Trying to go about west-southwest. So our course is kind of zigzag. But still, we're moving along pretty good speed. So, almost to the halfway point. That's it for now. Bye. Hello, folks. It's just afternoon local time on the 31st of January. It's a Wednesday, 2024. And just in case you thought the other day was a fluke or unusual, we had about 1 day it eased off a bit, but starting this morning around 8 o'clock or so, a little squall line came through. got a very light spritz of rain. But with this fall line, the wind increased again. So here we are. Pretty solid overcast. A little bit of blue sky up there, but not too much. The wind is howling in the rigging again, so 35 knots. Getting waves, 10, 12 feet again. We're just kind of lolling along here right now. I don't even know what kind of course we're on. We're making about due south right now. I'd really prefer to go southwest, but facing the same old problem. Without putting sail out on both sides of the boat to balance it out, I really can't get the boat to go on a broad reach with the sails on just one side. And considering the current conditions, I was thinking this morning, because it was fairly moderate, that I'd get the spinnaker pole on the staysail, which is on the head stay, and then set the storm jib flying off the spinnaker halyard and sheet it to the end of the main boom. We did something quite similar to that before on the way from Seychelles to Mayotte, and it worked very well. It balances out, the sail plan balances out of the boat quite well. It's very, of course, stable for sailing downwind. That was almost dead downwind, but ideally right now probably want to carry the apparent wind about 165 degrees, which that setup should work for. But with the wind at 35 knots plus, I'm thinking maybe it's time just to drop the staysail altogether and continue under just the storm jib, which is set on the staysail stay. Although we're not doing too bad time-wise, not really on a good course by about 180. We should be sailing about 225. But like I said, I just can't get the boat to get over on that broad reach. Right now we're kind of on a beam reach. The wind is east, maybe east-northeast, I think. No. Looking at the compass here. No, it's about north-northeast, which would make our course just about dead downwind. Yeah, 165, 170 apparent. Hear the cackling in the background on the VHF. Still quite a few ships out here. Saw one this morning, a huge container ship. Mostly we never see them, except on the AIS, on the nav software. Anyway, I got both head sails backed, or sort of hove to, although we're drifting along pretty well. I've got the wheel over to windward. I could ease it off. It's almost a half a turn. I could ease it off the spoke and see if that'll get us going more western. That'll be kind of the next experiment once I put stuff away again, because had an unfortunate happenstance. Put 4 new lower shrouds on, and the starboard aft lower shroud broke just above the terminal fitting on the turnbuckle. Not sure if that was my fault or bad wire. I suspect it was probably something that I did improperly, like forgetting to put cotter pins in and having it come loose for a while, which I didn't realize right away. That was a couple of days ago. Anyway, that must have fatigued the wire and caused the break ultimately. It's fixed now, but quite a challenge out here with the seas running and the wind blowing and getting sprayed on with salt water. And unfortunately, one of my favorite old combination wrenches that I bought in part of a set 55 years ago. Decided today it wanted to see if it knew how to swim. And it doesn't. It's gone off at about 11,000 feet of water. Bye. Anyway, we're plugging along. We're down about the latitude of Port Elizabeth now. A bit slower than planned because with these strong winds, trying to get the boat to balance out has been a real chore. Anyway, that's it for today. Wind blowing, cloud cover, big seas. How fun is life? Bye for now.